Let me show you how to make moist muffins every time for meal prep. This is featuring my free cranberry orange muffin recipe, which you can find linked below. Just look at that, perfect. So you're going to need a bunch of simple ingredients you probably already have, like salt, baking powder, and baking soda, oranges or orange juice. You're going to need some flour, oats, an egg. You can use dried cranberries or fresh or frozen cranberries for this. You can use butter or oil or coconut oil for this. This recipe calls for whole wheat flour, but I used white flour instead because I ran out of whole wheat flour. So let's do it. You're gonna need to preheat your oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. And now I'm squeezing oranges because I don't really drink orange juice. I didn't want to buy a whole bottle of it for this recipe, so I bought 2 oranges to squeeze, and that gave me plenty to work with. Then I'm also going to add my melted butter, which is, best to have it cool down before you add an egg in it because you don't want to cook your egg in the hot butter. Then you're just going to mix it up, and if you choose to use honey, agave, or maple syrup instead of white sugar, at this point you would add it as well with the other wet ingredients. Then I'm going to grate in some orange zest. So if you're going to zest anything, you want to make sure to wash your fruits before you zest them. And I'm going to link this microplane in the description. It's one of my favorite kitchen tools and it's really great, so you should find that there. Now for our dry ingredients. So the recipe as written calls for whole wheat flour, and I actually prefer these muffins with whole wheat flour, but like I said, I ran out. You can also use all-purpose gluten-free flour for this recipe. And then you just want to add the rest of your ingredients, mix them really well, so they're fully incorporated, and then you're going to combine the wet and dry ingredients. This is the most important part. Like the waffle video I posted last week, you really want to make sure to not over mix your batter. You want to use a spatula, not a fork or a spoon if you can avoid it, and fold everything together gently until it's just combined. You don't want any pockets of flour, but you also just don't want to overmix because then you'll get really dense and kind of hard muffins. It's not what you want. Your batter should really look like this at the end. So my muffin recipes tend to make 9 to 12 muffins, and this is really dependent on how much I fill in the wells. I like big muffins, so I fill them basically to the top, and they rise so they don't overflow in these wells. But if you want to make more muffins, you can fill them, 2/3 of the way, and they'll just be a little bit smaller. So that's just something to keep in mind. Make sure you grease your muffin tin, by the way. You don't want your muffins sticking to the pan. So they'll be done when they look like this. It just takes about 20 to 25 minutes depending on your oven. Every oven's different, but if they're firm to the touch and a little brown, they're probably done. And that's it. You can freeze these for up to 6 months. That's normally what I do. They reheat really well in the microwave for about 15 seconds from frozen, or you can store them on the counter. For breakfast I usually eat 2. They're so good. I love how much you could taste the orange flavor in these. Alright, you can grab the recipe in the description. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. We're sharing a new meal prep video every week.